a coded message left on the front and back of ancient art tomes, created by a madman who has a penchant for the demonic, and who happened to love Devilman a little too much. This is yet another episode of Atlas Unsolved Mysteries. Kazuma Kaneko was an Atlas employee, and now he sells NFTs, and he works for Colorful making a new mobile game. While he was an Atlas employee, he had a passion for fashion. He left an indelible mark on the franchise of Shin Megami Tensei, and on Atlas as a whole, regardless of how much they choose to erase his historical contributions. But one of his defining contributions was the art that he made. This manifested several art books, the first being the Pandemonium series of books, which focuses on early art from Devil Summoner, SMT, and Persona. Then there was Digital Devil Apocalypse, which showed off some of the earlier promotional work, key art, and concept, as well as scrapped designs. But the keystone of his art series is a series of books called Kazuma Kaneko Works. This is a series of 10 books. This was a labor of, well, I can't really say love, because the first 3 books released 2004, 2006, and then 2008. Then the series, which was announced to be 10 volumes, would hibernate until 2017. Then subsequent volumes would drop until 2021. The delay wasn't the only issue, however. It was that when the 4th volume dropped, the quality dropped. The books were physically downgraded, and with volume 10, they printed key art, not all of the key art, but some of them, and they did a poor job of it. You can check out my video for Why I Hate Kazuma Kaneko Works Volume 10 for more information. Anyway, this book series has a mystery I've not seen anyone discuss anywhere. On the back of each volume is a chart that features characters and symbols and words that seem to point to astrology. And that's the mystery. Why do we have these, and what do they mean? Each one is unique, by the way. The shape itself seems to be based on imagery from the Key of Solomon. This text is where a great many Megaten demons originate from. The key itself are 2 books. The first includes conjurations, invocations, and curses to summon and control demons and spirits. Kinda like demon Pokemon. The spells include finding lost items, making yourself invisible, and all the other weird and desperate things that people want to engage with. The second book is full of purification or exorcism. It covers everything from how to dress, yes, it literally teaches you how to drip, to teaching you stuff like how to do the thing, whatever thing they're talking about. If you look at the front of each Kazuma Kaneko Works, you see this thing. The shape is one of the pentacles, and there's a couple potential designs. The first is the second Pentacles of Jupiter. This is a pentacle used for acquiring glory, honor, dignity, riches, etc. The text says Ahi Eheya, then the name Ab, the father, and in the remaining angles it says IHVH. The other one it could be is the Pentacle of Mars. This one is a protector of diseases. It's got He in the corner of each hexagram, then the names IHVH, IHSHVH, and Yeshua, and Elohim. The Kaneko Works version has text in the inner circle that says Aheth, Gadol, Leolam, Adonai 3 times, which may mean Thou, O Lord, art mighty forever. The Star of David shows a separation, which is shown in a way called the Double Triangle of Solomon. There's a bunch of meanings of the shape outside of Judaism, but in reference to the Key of Solomon, I don't know. Then, when you flip over the book, you find a strange sigil. I haven't been able to figure out exactly where these are from or what they could mean. Looking at the shape, you'll see that it's comprised of 3 separate squares and then With the outermost square, you notice that and the second outermost square make up 12 triangles. In each triangle is a word relating to astrology. These are the different symbols, including but not limited to Libra, Virgo, Leo, and I'm assuming the rest are one of the 12 astrological symbols, but unfortunately I cannot read the tiny script they chose to use. In addition to that, there are 5 rows and columns that are 5 by 5 wide, and in the center of the shape you'll find a moon, different phases of the moon. So there are in fact 10 phases of the moon present across the 10 books. In addition to all of that, the letters that are found in the shape are different in each book. I tried my best to decode most of them, but almost all of them are a mystery to me. An unsolved mystery. So let's go book by book and I'll explain what I see, and if you find out what they mean, you could be the hero of this story and break the code. Or if someone could show this to Kazuma Kaneko or Shikengensha and maybe they could explain it to me, that would be great. So book 1 has 5 rows and 5 columns, and reading each row you see that it spells Kazuma Kaneko works, but scrambled up. If I remove all of the letters that spell up Kazuma Kaneko works, we're left with 8 letters. MENA MUZA. Now, I'm assuming this could be one of two things: scrambles that make up Japanese words, or scrambles that make up Latin words, and I'll explain why I think it might be Latin words at the end of the video. So the 8 letters that I see when put through a scrambler doesn't make much, but I noticed very quickly that MENA, when re-scrambled, spells Amen, which is Latin. That would then make the other 4 letters MUZA, or any other combination of those letters. And unfortunately, I could not figure out what that could mean. I spelled as many things as I could, and I ran it through translators to see if any of it made Latin, and I don't know because I am not fluent. And even more, I am not fluent in the spellings of Japanese in English characters, so I don't know if these could make anything. One thing that stands out is ame, but I don't know if there's enough vowels to make up a Japanese word or grouping of words. Though amen makes a lot of sense. The second book continues this. When you take out the Kazuma Kaneko works from the scramble of letters, you get UMEMANMA. I could not figure out what these meant, and I couldn't really unscramble it, though I did notice that Amen is also present again. It's almost like the other original book, but instead of a Z, there's an extra M. So that makes me almost think that it says Amen Amun, which makes a little bit of sense because Amun is a Egyptian deity, and I think that that kind of works out, but I don't see how. The second book covers Shin Megami Tensei 2. The first book covers Shin Megami Tensei 1. Now, both would be fitting to have Amen in the book, but I don't know how this would be relevant, especially the Egyptian deity Amun. Book 3 starts the trend of books not having the word works in the scramble of characters, so it only spells Kazuma Kaneko. And when you take out all those letters, you're left with OWUISN OHEMSAK. Now, yet again, I see Amen present, but with the remaining letters, it spells OWUISOHSK. I don't know what this could be, scrambled or unscrambled. I ran it through several different word scramblers and I couldn't find a meaning. There are so many potential languages for this, or so many potential meanings. If Amun is actually in book 2, then this could be so many things. Now, it is also important to note that book 3 contains Shin Megami Tensei 3, SMT 9, and the updates for SMT 1 and 2. Now, if you remember the beginning of this video, I mentioned that book 4 came out several years later from the last book, which came out in 2008. Book 4 came out in 2017. This one also doesn't say works in the scramble of letters. If you remove Kazuma Kaneko from the letters, however, you get SWWSEINRAOMZS. Now, I neglected to mention that the extra letters from these ones that lack the word works is 13. 13 letters, which could be significant because it's supernatural and spooky. This is yet another one where Amen is present in the letters. I am not sure what it could mean. When you take Amen out, it becomes SWWSIROZS. And that is not a word, that is just the letters that I have left over. When I ran it through Scramblers, I could not figure out what it could be. Book 5 continues the trend, it doesn't say works. When you remove Kazuma Kaneko, you get RVSEAQOWAANZ. This one is weird because it doesn't have the letters needed to spell Amen. It's just a bunch of letters, and I don't know what it means. With book 6, we return to having works in the book. So now when you take it all out, you are left with AKUWKAZ. What's interesting is this one is kind of lazy with the scramble, with the first row having the word works but backwards. And there is just some repetition. You see Kaneko, but it's just the Kanka, and the rest of the letters are found elsewhere. And the last row, row 5, has Kaz, which is a very common signifier for Kaneko in his early artwork where he would write his signature. When I look at this, I'm seeing some random things pop out. Kaz Aku, or something to that effect, which could be Kazuma as in Kazuma Kaneko, and Aku as in like demon. The other thing, which is less likely, is Kaz Waku, which, if you're familiar with the popular seasonal anime, I don't know what it's called, there is a pink-haired character who says Waku Waku, which is just an onomatopoeia which is meant to signify excitement. I don't think it's either of these things, but I can't really figure out what it could be as an alternative. Book 7 also has Kazuma Kaneko works all in the letters. When you remove those, you are left with the letters RNVNKKZE. This one also doesn't have the letters left to spell Amen. This is what's been happening since the other 2 books, and I don't really know. I couldn't figure out any potential lead with this one. Book 8 also says Kazuma Kaneko works. When you unscramble that and you remove all those letters, you get TWORKSZ. The weird thing about this is that yes, it does have enough letters to spell the word works twice. Whether or not that was a mistake remains to be seen. Book 9 also says Kazuma Kaneko works, and when you remove those letters, you get AKKOKEN. Something that I've noticed across all of this is that there simply isn't that many vowels. So I don't know what kind of language this could be because of how little vowels there are. It's also important to note that this is being made by a Japanese publisher, and the idea that these might be correct spellings could also be a point of contention, because it is very likely that these are things that are meant to be English words or words in other languages, but they are misspelled in some way. When I was decoding much of the metaphor, dialogue, and books and text, I noticed that there were typos present. Finally, Book 10 is the only one that doesn't say Kazuma Kaneko works at all. And that's because within the 5 rows, you see clearly that it spells out Mors Certa Ora Incerta, which means death, a necessary end, will come when it will come. And in between that, it says KKWX, which by logic and reason is Kazuma Kaneko works 10. So because of this last one having a Latin phrase, I decided to go back and figure out if any of the other ones spelled out any Latin phrases, which is what I couldn't find. I am not fluent in Latin, so I had a lot of trouble figuring this out. And ultimately, the only Latin I could pull out was Amen in some of the initial books. And this is how far I got so far. If anybody else is a subject matter expert with this, that would be great. It is still fun that I'm able to find new mysteries that no one has talked about this far into my love of Shin Megami Tensei. So that is all well and good. Just a heads up, I did start a Patreon and that will be linked below. If you want to join, it'll support me and it'll guarantee that we do get more regular videos. Once I hit a threshold of $100 on Patreon per month, I will commit myself to making one video a month. $200 means I will commit to making 2 videos per month, and I don't know if I can make more than that based on the sheer volume of videos I have in progress and the sheer workload, because some of these videos are so long that I don't know if I can make 2 3-hour documentaries, because yes, my Persona 3 documentary is getting very, very long. That's it for the video. Goodbye, fellow Megatennists.